now we have the grammar focus, the second grammar focus for this book, for this unit, which are the permission, obligation, and prohibition. So I have something in here. Okay, so this is what we were seeing before, the models of possibility. We have may, we have might, we have could. So again, when we use might, may, or could, as we can see in here, when you use these models, might, may, could, they mean possibility. It means that you are not 100% sure of the decision, but it is a possibility. There is a chance that it happens. Then we have, again, the adverbs. We have perhaps, we have maybe, and we have probably. Again, that means that you are not 100% sure, but there is a chance or possibility that that action happens. We have must, which is when that, of course, 100% is going to happen, and definitely when you are 100% sure of things, again. So we have the possibilities, the models for possibility, might, may, and could. I might study math. I may pass chemistry's exam. That means that there is a possibility, there is a chance that I study math, and there is also a chance that I pass my chemistry exam. If I say they could be there by now, that means that there is a possibility that they are there now. But again, we are not 100% sure, because in here, of course, we are talking about possibility, things that are possible, that have a chance of happening. Then we have the models of obligation. We have must, we have to, and we have should. So in here we have the past of have to is has to, is had. Then must is for personal obligations, and then have to is for general obligations. For example, if I say you must stop here, it's because it's an obligation. It's because maybe there is a law or there is a rule that tells you that you need to stop here. So if I tell you, for example, you must do your homework, is because this is an obligation. Again, it's a personal obligation because it's your homework. But then if I say you have to wear a seatbelt when you drive, this is general. Like everybody has to wear a seatbelt when they drive. This is an obligation. If I give you a test and I tell you you must answer at least one of the questions, or at least one question, it's because it's an obligation, but again, it's a personal obligation. If I tell you you should call Mary, I know she misses you a lot. Should, sometimes we can use it, let's say, to express like I'm giving you an option. But if I tell you should, I am most of the times most likely asking you to do it. Even if I say it as a suggestion, I think if I say should, I think that this is what you have to do. Like this is the better idea or the better thing to do right now. If I say she looks sick, she should go home. Again, this is a suggestion, but at the same time, it's kind of an obligation, because if she looks sick, of course, she should go home. And again, we have these models for obligation: must, have to, and should. So whenever you see must, have to, or should, it's because this is something you have to do. It's an obligation. Like you cannot escape from your obligation. If you see may, might, or could, this is a possibility. Again, this is something that you have a chance of happening. Then we have the models of permission. So when we are talking about models of permission, of course, we are asking if we can do something, if we have the permission to do something. If I say, for example, can I go outside, please? If we are in a classroom and you tell me, can I go outside, please? You are, of course, asking me for permission. Of course, you have, let's say, you have the possibility of doing it with your body. You can go outside because you can walk outside if you want. But since there are rules that you need to follow, you always ask your teacher, for example, can I go to the bathroom? Or can I ask a question? Can I come in? Of course you can do it, you can physically do it, but in this case you are just asking for permission in case that there is a special rule or something like that. Then we can also use could and may to talk about general permission. If may I go to the bathroom, may I use your notebook, could I borrow your book, etc., etc. These again are for permission. And to give permission, we can also use may and can. Like, you may take this Saturday off from work. Or if I tell you, you may go to the bathroom, or you can go to the bathroom, I'm giving you the permission to do it. And then we have the models for prohibition. So we have can't. You know that if I tell you, you can't speak Spanish, or you can't use your cell phone, or you can't go to the bathroom, it's because it's a prohibition, it's prohibited. It's not something that you can do. Like, you can physically do it, but in the rules, if I tell you you can't dance here, you can physically dance, of course, but if I tell you you can't dance in the classroom, it's because there is a rule in the classroom that you can't dance, that you are not allowed to. And again, we have mustn't. If I tell you mustn't, it's because this is something that is prohibited. It's something that you can't do. Then we have the models for necessity, in which we have must, like I must be careful. We have need to, don't have to, had to. Is actually pretty simple for this one. In the book we have permission, obligation, and prohibition so far. So for permission, we have can. We also have allowed to. When I tell you allowed to, you are allowed to park here, or you are not allowed to park here, is because it's a permission. If I tell you you are allowed to go to the restroom, I am giving you the permission to go. It's like can. It's basically the same. We use it for the same thing. If we have obligation, again, when you are obligated to do something, we can use have to, and we can also use have got to. So if I tell you you've got to take off your shoes, it's because it's an obligation. You have to do it. If I tell you you have got to fasten your seatbelt, again, it's an obligation. You have got to you have got to raise your hand to talk. It's an obligation. Again, we have the models of prohibition. We have can't, and we have aren't allowed to, which are basically the same for permission but in negative. Now I have an exercise that I would like you guys to complete. So I am going to send you this on Telegram. This is an exercise about permission, obligation, and prohibition. So in here we have a short explanation. Use have, has with got to. You've got to keep the door closed. And what you need to do is that you need to complete this conversation using the words in the box, which are models for permission, prohibition, and obligation. Let me go ahead and send you that. Okay, so you guys work on that and let me know when you finish. Who was the first one? Let's start with Ruth. So Ruth, can you please do the first one? Letter B.
Okay. Say, we have gone somewhere else to fish to use.
We have to go somewhere to fish. Okay, keep going.
Music.
Yes, please.
Eh?
Yes, please.
Okay. I repeat. You're right. I for two numbers. Okay. She said, you're right. We go somewhere, and I think you can fish in the pond on the road later.
Let's go there. Okay. So, Charmaine, can you please do the next one?
Have to and can.
Have to and can, yes.
Okay.
Charmaine.
What does that mean? Okay, what does that mean? It means what new for you.
For us.
It means you aren't allowed to bring dogs to the beach. We would rather take Woody home.
Take Betty home. Okay, very good. Let me see. Henry, are you there?
Yes.
Henry, can you please do number 3?
Okay. Please don't leave your garbage here. And put in the trash room down the house. That's one the building roller.
Building rules.
Building roller.
Very good. And then, Laura, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, Laura, can you please do number 4?
Yes. You can put your bike in the big room.
Bike.
Bike room downstairs if you want. It's much faster than looking to put outside. Oh, that's right. I will do that. I didn't know about the bike room.
Okay. So let's see the answers. For number 4, we have a... Eh?
I did it.
So the first...
I did.
These are the answers here. So in here we have, oh no, that sign says no fishing. That means we can't fish here. You're right. You've got to or have to go somewhere else to fish. I think you are allowed to or you can fish in the pond on Cedar Road. Let's go there. So then we have, what does that sign mean? It means bad news for us. It means you aren't allowed to bring dogs to the beach. We'd better take Buddy home. Please don't leave your garbage here. You've got to or have to put it in the trash room down the hall. That's one of the building's rules. I'm really sorry. You can put your bike in the bike room downstairs if you want. It's much safer than locking it up outside. Oh, that's great. I'll do that. I didn't know about the bike room. And that's it. Do you guys have any questions?
No.